Hello and welcome to program 35 XML version, and this program is very similar to the other versions of program 35, except this time it's got one very significant difference, and that is that rather than using the global variables or the global dictionary or the ADE, we're actually using XML, and we're using the TradeStation XML classes. And as you can see, the operation, if we got some charts open here, and on the right with the blue background is the sending chart, the charts with the white background and the orange background, they're the receiving charts. And you can see if I just drag a particular line and release it, then that line will change on the receiving charts as well. And you can't actually see it on this one at the moment, but if we bring the values into view, you would be able to see that. So again, if we, for example, just bring a line down like that, you'll see they get moved down here as well. Now, the big difference is that what this is doing behind the scenes is storing this information in an XML file. And you'll see now I've moved the lines. It's asking me, do I want to update the file? I'm going to say yes, and then you'd see if you knew which particular line it was that the value had changed. Now you'll notice here that we've got several unique names, and the way that we tie in the charts between each other is with a unique name. So let's just have a look to start with at the unique name. And this is the sending program, and you'll see the unique name is list. And then if we look at the receiving charts, in fact, we'll just look at this one, don't need to look at all the rest. We just look at this one, you'll see that the unique name is also list. So they're sharing the same information. Now the other thing about this is if we were to move the lines around, and what we're now going to do is we're going to close, or we're going to turn the analysis technique off for that particular chart. So the lines disappear. If we go back to our XML file, you'll see it has updated it. But now if we go back to this chart and we turn back on the program using status, then you'll see that the positions have been retained. And of course, the receiving charts, since they're still using that same file and the same unique name, their positions remain the same. So what happens if on the sending chart we create or we enter a unique name that is not currently stored in the XML file? So let's just try and do that. Let's try list 10. And you'll see what it does. It creates lines in an initial position which are evenly spaced. Now you'll notice these charts have not changed accordingly, and the reason for that is that we haven't changed the unique name for those as well. So let's just do that. Let's just change list 10, and you'll now see that those lines are reflected between the two charts. And if I would start moving the lines, you'll see that they're reflected on both charts. And if we go to our XML file and reload it, you'll now see that list 10 now appears with the most up-to-date values. Now technically, I think this program will be useful for you if you're trying to learn about how you could use XML files to store information from an analysis technique or a strategy into an XML file and then retrieve that information. And what I'm going to do is, with the download, include a bonus video which just gives an overview of some of the programming techniques that I've used, and I'm going to make that video available for free for Gold Pass members. Just some other things that you might be interested in here. This uses the horizontal line drawing object, and one thing we might like to do is change the formatting. We do that, we click on the line, Then we click on No. And then here we can change the font of the text. So we could, for example, use Franklin Gothic, make it larger, and okay, just say OK, or just a second, we'll just change the line. So in terms of the weight of the line, let's just make it really thick, just to give you. Now we're going to change that to default. We'll also make sure that this is set as default. And when we say OK, you'll see that just one of the lines has changed. But if I now do a Control R, you'll see that that has now become the default style for these two charts. So we'll probably want to go back and just change that to something a little smaller. And I think I had it set as, well, a body condensed is fine. 12 point, set as default. Style, something like that. Set as default. Say OK, and then again Control R, and we'll see that those lines update with the new style that's been set for the lines.